Hey everyone, welcome back to What's Kate Cooking. Here's what I've got going on for breakfast this morning. Making another omelet today, a bit of a variation. It is going to have green chilies, so a bit of a variation as I'm going to just pour them right into the mix here. Oh, they smell so good. So last time I pureed those chilies and then mixed them in, but today I'm gonna try it like this without pureeing them. It is on a medium-low heat, so a 3. And we're gonna let that cook. I am using 2 large eggs and I did salt and pepper that. That omelet looks amazing. I think I've let it cook a bit longer than I prefer, but let's go ahead and see about flipping it. Oh my gosh, look at that. Yum. Oh, perfect. It's not brown. I'm so impressed with this omelet already. So I did go ahead and put the tomatoes in here. I did want to add more vegetables today, but to be honest, I'm just not even that hungry still. So gonna keep it kind of minimal, and then ran out of shredded cheese. So just using some sliced cheese there. But look at those green chilies on this omelet. That is just incredible. Look. Oh my gosh. Yum, I cannot wait to eat this. Even though I'm not hungry, I'm like, oh, maybe I am now. I've got that side of bacon to go with it. So that is breakfast. I'm also prepping dinner while making breakfast. And for dinner, I'm doing my stuffed jalapenos. They are stuffed with chicken, cheese, wrapped in bacon. So delicious. The variation, because I already have these posted on my YouTube channel, the variation in this video is canned chicken. So super simple to do it this way. Let's get started. Look at the size of these jalapenos. They are huge. So first thing you want to do obviously is rinse them off. I do like to pick the bigger jalapenos when making these because essentially they are the meal for the day, because essentially they're dinner, right? So I want them pretty hearty. So first step in making these is just cutting off that stem, or sometimes you can even just pull that off, but sometimes easier to just cut it off, and then slice them right down the middle. Look at that one. It's got some red to it. Now make sure you are careful while handling the jalapenos. They are hot and spicy. Touching them and then touching your eyes is not going to be fun. So once you've got them all cut in half, we're now going to remove the seeds. And it's as simple as taking a spoon and then just getting them out of there. Obviously, you may want to do this into the trash can, which is what I think I'm going to do. But this is what you do essentially to get those seeds out. It may be easier if you start there near the top with the spoon and then come down. All right, now in seasoning the chicken here, you can keep it pretty simple and use just a taco seasoning packet. I am going to add in some cumin. And if you watch any of my videos, I just wing all of my measurements. So I would say maybe a tablespoon of cumin. And then going to add in this just kind of blend I made of chili powder, chili flakes. So that's pretty much the type of seasoning you're looking for when making this. So again, chili powder and cumin really are just the gist of what you need to make this. Or again, keeping it even more simple and using taco seasoning packet. And of course, salt and pepper, and then mixing that all around. Now, another variation today, because I do not have any more shredded cheese, is I'm going to be using a few different sliced cheeses today. So we've got pepper jack, we've got Colby, and cheddar. And let me show you how I plan on stuffing these when using the sliced cheese. And I'm essentially just going to fold this slice into 3 pieces, best as I can, doesn't have to be perfect. All right, and then I'm gonna put that on the bottom. Now you could always place it on top as well over the chicken. And once you've got your seasoning mixed in with that chicken, then we're going to just come and fill that jalapeno. And then I do have prepped a sheet pan with foil, up to you if you want to use foil or not, but I'm going to stage those there until we wrap them in bacon. So again, as simple as, if you don't have shredded cheese, just taking a slice of cheese, folding it in about thirds, and then putting that in the bottom of the jalapeno, and then putting the chicken on top. Now it might get a little tricky. See, this one's, let's do this. See, that small one came in handy after all. And I'm just gonna be getting the rest of these ready. If that cheese is just not really working like that, of course you can either make it smaller slices, or you can like pull it apart more in a sense. So again, if folding it is still not working because the pieces are too big, then you can just, so this might be a little bit more work, but I'm just gonna leave it when I fold it and have it sliced like that. It just seems easier to me. And today is about it being a bit easier, right? Now the pepper jack cheese that I'm using is thin sliced, so it is going to be much more flexible than the cheddar cheese I was just using there. So if I had to say, I would certainly say, if you're gonna make this intentionally with sliced cheese, use the thin slices. They do seem to work much better. Now, if you ran out of chicken like I did halfway through, for one, obviously maybe 2 cans is better. And I do have another can, but I just don't want to do all that right now. So what I'm going to do is just take some of the meat from these and put them in, maybe just 2 more, I'm thinking. So gonna just kind of pull from these. And they don't have to be full, like super stuffed, overflowing with the chicken. It's all gonna come together really well. So even just having a minuscule amount of chicken there is going to be good. Now I did not use the Colby cheese after all, just the jack cheese and the cheddar there. And now we're going to wrap those in bacon. If you have any jalapenos left over, I know I'm gonna be making salsa with mine. Normally I would cut the bacon in half and then use the half to wrap it. But for one, these are bigger, and for 2, I've just not had much luck doing it that way lately. So instead, I am actually going to just use the entire slice. I've not opened a bacon package regularly in a while, so I'm like, how do we do this? Because again, usually I'm cutting it straight down the middle. I call that my bacon hack. The way my bacon hack is cutting the package in half from the get-go and then cooking the slices as halves. So this is really 2 pieces of bacon, although to me it's 4. But anyway, I love sharing that hack. You'll probably hear it more often. But let me go ahead and get the bacon open so we can start wrapping these jalapenos. So as simple as, and I'm glad I didn't cut this in half because I can tell it's already kind of falling apart. That wouldn't have been fun to try to wrap these with. So just gonna take a slice of bacon and we are wrapping that around the jalapeno and back down. Very simple. Obviously make sure you wash your hands before and after wrapping these. And I am prepping these for my dinner / lunch essentially because I am fasting, so I will probably eat these around 1 p.m. I'm going to stick them in the oven at about 11 a.m. And so yeah, roughly, I like to cook them for a long time because I do like them soggy. And it's interesting because they get, like, the jalapenos get soggy, but the bacon gets crisp. And that's ultimately what I'm looking for. And that does require that longer cook time. And I will bake them at 350 degrees when I do that. Now, if you had smaller jalapenos, maybe then opting into, you know, cutting the bacon in half and using it to wrap them. Again, with these being so mighty, you know, just these huge jalapenos, the bigger bacon, you know, keeping the bacon intact and not cutting it in half is definitely the best option. If you're wondering if I would recommend using like the pre-cooked bacon, no, absolutely not. I don't even know how that would work. Maybe you could like set a slice on the top and then bake them. I'm not sure, but no, I would definitely not recommend that. Turkey bacon, I have never tried to use when making these. So if somebody out there would rather, you know, have turkey bacon and give this a go, I'm curious to know how that would work out. So if you've tried it or plan on trying that, let me know what you think down in the comments there, or how that worked out for you. And really just a rough video for you guys to give you the gist of how simple this is to make at home, how delicious it will be. Yes, I could have used more chicken, so maybe use 2 cans of chicken if you do this, depending again on how many you're making. This is gonna make 14, which would be 7 jalapenos. And that's something to keep in mind too. Don't go buying 20 jalapenos thinking you're gonna get, you know, 20. You'd end up with 40 of these stuffed jalapenos. So, you know, think of it as whole, but divide that number by 2 because that's the amount you're gonna get. And they are very filling. I know every time I make these, they smell so good. And I'm like, I'm gonna eat about 10 of them. And I eat about 3 to 4 and I'm stuffed. So they are still very filling and pretty healthy. I'm gonna say very healthy. I know not everyone is a fan of bacon or can eat bacon, but to me these are a good meal, a healthy meal. So there we have our jalapenos all wrapped and ready to go into the oven here soon. It is only almost 8 o'clock, so 8 a.m. So they're going in the fridge for now, and then a few hours later into the oven at 350 degrees for like an hour and a half to 2 hours. And I may even turn that heat down as they cook. You'll just have to, let's see what happens. I don't know yet. The delicious jalapenos are going in the oven now, and it is 11:31. All right, so they went in at 11:30, now 12:45. Oh my gosh, you can smell these as they're cooking and they smell so good. Let's take a look. And they are good. Look at the bottom. They are good. I personally want them to, whoop, that one fell apart. I do want them to cook, I think, a little bit longer. I mean, they're ready, but I'm going to leave them in there for just a little bit longer. I did go ahead and transfer these to a clean piece of foil, all of that grease. I just didn't want to try to cook these a little bit longer in that grease. But again, they are mostly, they're done. I just like mine to be a bit more, I don't even know, kind of soggy, yet crisp. But gonna go ahead and get those back in the oven for just a little bit longer. Almost one, so essentially an hour and a half I've let these cook. And there we have it. They are ready. Nice and crisp. I do want to point out I highly recommend using shredded cheese. I do prefer cheddar, and mixing it in with that chicken and then stuffing the jalapenos. And here we have that simpler version of the jalapenos stuffed with chicken and cheese. wrapped in bacon, again using canned chicken and slices of cheese versus shredded. Let me know what you guys think if you eat these, or just in general how delicious you think these may be. See you next time.